Shalom, how you doing? Today I thought I would talk to you about a bit about the Mithraic Mysteries. Okay, what are the Mithraic Mysteries? I'm sure many of you have heard of them. I'm sure many of you have seen the scene of Mithra killing the bull. But what are they? There are many temples built throughout the former Roman Empire to the divinity Mithra, and I myself have seen many of these temples, and living not far from a few of them, and have seen the reliefs as well with my own eyes. So this will be about the Mithraic Mysteries. What are they? Firstly, let's take a look at who is Mithra. Who is it? Who is he or she, or what is Mithra? Mithra is a divinity. Mithra is a divinity. An Indo-Iranian deity. Let's go back many years ago to the Mitanni people. Now, the Mitanni kingdom was formed by Indo-Iranian warrior caste, probably Kshatriyas, conquering some Hurrians and forming a Hurrian kingdom, which did worship a mix between the Hurrian, the Mesopotamian, and the Indo-Iranian deities worshipped in Mitanni. Let's take a look at the seal, shall we? This seal belongs to King Shoshatar, who is a Mitannian king living around 1450 BC. This is a royal seal, and it shows something about the Mithraic Mysteries, but worshipped in Mitanni, the ancient Hurrian kingdom, not too far from Canaan. If you look at the top left corner of the picture, you can see, right on the top left there, you can see a bull slayer, a figure slaying a bull. Now this becomes very familiar later on when we study the mysteries properly. This figure here is Mithra slaying the bull, and he's looking at a face to the right of him, which represents the sun, and then alongside that there's the eagles and the sun disk, which represents the sun as well. If you look in the bottom right and left hand corners, there are two twins who are standing on what might be lions or something like that. In the bottom left corner and the bottom right corner, these two twins are standing there. But we're looking at the there's a lot of lions and ravens in the symbol, in this symbolism, and right in the middle there is what may be a spirit or god of some kind, with wings, holding two lions. Now, I've seen these many times in Hittite and Hurrian religion. I don't know exactly what they represent, so I'll have to ask a Hittite and Hurrian follower, such as the followers of Ena Palanahu. I think that's the name of it. It's the Hurrian religion. I'll have to ask some followers there, that I know what these kind of spirits mean. But this figure looks like the demiurge because he has figures of like a lion and an eagle and a man connected together. And then the top right we have a female figure worshipping this, and maybe connected in some way to the moon, perhaps a moon goddess. I'm not sure. Sometimes an Indo-Iranian moon can appear as can appear as a goddess or a god. It just depends. And in Anatolian religion usually is a male god, but in Mesopotamian as well. But we'll have to see what comes of this later. Okay, then, so we've seen that. Now, less than 100 years later, in 1375 BC, one of the Mitannian kings, a descendant of Shoshatar, concluded a treaty. His name is Shatiwaza. Consulted a treaty in the presence of Suppiluliuma, the Hittite king. Now, this treaty between the king of Hatti and the king of Mitanni tells about invokes some of the gods. Here I'm going to read from it now. It says, the Mitanni king in Shatiwaza invokes his gods. He says, the storm god, lord of heaven and earth, the moon god and the sun god, the moon god of Haran, heaven and earth, the storm god, lord of the Kurinu of Kahat, the deity of the herds of Kurta, the storm god, lord of Uhushuman, Iashare, lord of wisdom, Anu Antu, Enlil, Ninil, the Mithra. He says the gods, he says Mithra, or Mithar, Arun, or Varuna, Indar, or Indra, and the Satya gods. Lord of Washakani, the storm god, lord of the temple platform of Erit, Patahi of Shuta, Nababi, Shuruhi, Ishtar, evening star, Shala, Belet, Akali, Damkina, Ishara, the mountains and rivers, the deities of heaven and the deities of earth. So he's invoking his gods to promise not to break the treaty. But what's interesting, it has some Indo-Iranian gods as well as the Mesopotamian and the Hurrian gods. As Mithra, Arun or Varuna, Indra or Indra, the god, and then the Satya gods or the Ashwins of the Indo-Iranian system. Okay, now let's go to Iran. And Zarathustra formed a religion called Zoroastrianism. Now, he was an ancient philosopher, prophet, and sage in Iran, and he made Zoroastrianism. Now, Zoroastrianism is a religion which worships one supreme god. It's a monotheistic religion, worships a supreme god, Ahura Mazda. But in his text, the Gathas, he talks about Ahura Mazda many times. But there is a later composition which is based on an oral tradition called the Yashts, and the Yashts have a Mithra Yasht in them. Mithra in Zoroastrianism is a kind of he's a Yazata. Now, Yazata is a kind of a demigod or an angel equivalent to the Devatas of Hinduism, roughly, whereas Ahura Mazda is the supreme god equivalent to the Mahadeva of Hinduism. But he's called Ahura, interestingly, which is something else which is quite interesting. Now, the Persian Empire, the empire of the Medes and Persians, was formed by King Koresh II. He formed it and he conquered Babylon. First he conquered the Medes and formed the Median Persian Empire. Then he conquered Babylon, he went to Anatolia, he conquered Urartu, he conquered the Hurrians, he conquered the Lydian Empire, which ruled over Anatolia at this time. He conquered Kilikhu, he conquered Canaan, which formed part of the Babylonian Empire, and he conquered some parts in the east as well,